No, I've muted everyone.
Why is it so annoying? Alright. It says left.
No, okay.
Yeah. I think we got a bunch of people. Hello everyone, thank you very much for joining the Ripples web app seminar. We are going to wait just a couple more minutes to see if we get a few stragglers coming in. So thank you everyone for your patience.
Ask if they can hear us, and then because we don't have any feedback if they hear us.
I'll ask next.
And Lev is putting himself out of mute all the time. This is
All right, can everybody hear me all right? You can send me a text in the chat and let me know if you can hear me, and then we'll get started. Perfect. So thank you everyone for joining us here today. My name's Emily from the Ripples Customer Success Team, and today we're going to deep dive into the Ripples webinar. We're going to talk about all the bits and bytes and how to make it work for you and engage with your customers in a brand new way. So alrighty, and there we go. I'm on the screen. So the Ripples web app is a fun new way that you can get your guests engaging. You can simply place a QR code in around your store or posters, or even use digital signage. From there, you'll be brought to a web page that allows your customers to interact in real time with your Ripple makers. So it's a fun new way with no downloads required. So it's really helping your guests interact without slowing down their phones or deleting any pictures, because nobody has space on their phones these days. So we're going to talk today all about how to do it. We're going to send you the link now in the chat. So if you'd like to download the QR code now, you can go right ahead and do that. We'll also follow up our seminar here today with a PDF file with all the information that I'm talking about. So let's give you a demonstration on live how we can use the Ripples web app. Okay, so here we've got my Android phone, and I'm just going to open up my camera app, and I've got a little QR code, and a link will pop up on the bottom, you'll notice. So you'll definitely want to click on that link. And if it's the first time you're doing this, you're going to have to share your location. So your GPS should be working for this. So it's going to load all the locations in my area. And as you see here, Emily's Coffee Shop has come up first. So that's because we're right next to my Ripple Maker here at the headquarters. But if that's not your location, there's actually a button at the bottom. You'll see I'm not at this location, so we're going to hit that. And you'll have a list of locations here that you can also communicate with. So since we're at Emily's Coffee Shop, we're going to click Emily's Coffee Shop. On the first page here, you'll see that you have a bunch of different buttons. We've got photo, library, and text. So we can start with photo, and you can either choose from your library here or select camera, and then you'll be able to take a selfie or send another picture. So We'll take a selfie today. So if you're happy with the photo, you can click OK, and you'll be brought to our editor screen. And it's popped up with a frame around it. That's what we're calling a frame, the Bye Bye 2020. But the first thing we're going to do is move it over from bright light to dark light. And you can see that there's a big contrast difference. It's making my skin kind of glow a little bit more in the background, a little bit brighter. We don't want to choose the logo. See what we did with the logo? It makes it kind of all grayscale. We want as much contrast as possible. So we're going to choose the dark light feature. And we, of course, can play with the frames. That's the buttons here at the top. That little picture frame, it's going to help us choose frames at the bottom. So you can scroll through the different frames, but as you see, it didn't quite line up with my face. So you can pinch to zoom in and out to make it perfectly fitting. And now I am Santa. Or you can be Frosty, and again, we'll have to just pinch and zoom, move the face around so I get the smile, the carrot for a nose, and we're all set. We also have some pretty simple frames on here as well. We're going to talk about uploading frames to the web app because that's something you gain access to through the Ripples cloud. So I really like the flowers, and we don't want my face too small, otherwise I won't be able to see it very well, and we don't want it too big because that's not perfect. Let's do nice and centered. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to hit submit, and we're going to get a number. All right, as you see, it says number 1. So let's move over to the other screen that we have. And that's our Ripple Maker screen with the QR code. So you can actually scan that QR code now and see if there's any Ripple Makers nearby. And there we go. My image has arrived to the Ripple Maker. And a quick tap, and 10 seconds later, we'll have that printed. So in real time, you can have your guests printing and sharing their photos. And we're going to go in through the next few steps after that. So the next option we can choose is from the library. So the library is the Ripples dynamic content that's uploaded from our creative team. Every month you can control what content you see here as well. Your channels will appear first. The cupcake is a channel that I've uploaded, but the heartbeat and flame and the communication boxes are all uploaded by the Ripples dynamic content. So if you see something here that you really like, you can send it that way, but we're going to talk about controlling that content in a moment. My next favorite feature here on the Ripples web app is text. So here you can actually edit the different types of text. So for this one, we're just going to put a blank frame. So the blank frame will always be found near the end of the frame. So if you want to send an image or text without a frame, you just apply that, and we can click that letter T and we'll go back to text. So here you can say, welcome to the Ripples web app, and click the check mark when you're ready, and you'll see that there's a bunch of different texts down here at the bottom. And you can double tap each text, and it's going to actually transform the text to a different format. So you can play around with it to see which text works best for you, which one you like. And you can, of course, zoom in and out by pinching. And we actually have added a bunch of new texts with the Ripples web app. There we go. I love that one. It's super cute. And this one kind of looks like wood. Let's see what else we got there. I like this one. There we go, that one. And once you're ready and you're happy with what you've created, hit submit, and it's going to send it straight to the Ripple Maker. There we go, we are number 2 on the Ripple Maker, and in just a moment's notice, you can see he's starting to download, and we'll have, oh, there we go, it showed up. So I'd actually like to talk and print another one where it kind of combines the two different medias that you can mix and match together. So let's say we're sending a logo and you'd like the whole kind of logo to be a little bit darkened. So we're gonna find a logo here. We'll choose that apple, and also let's get rid of the frame. And back to photograph at the top. And when I choose logo, it kind of makes the whole image a little bit darker. And if it's got any grays or grayscale in it, it's going to help darken those shades to make it overall more effective. So I've got my little apple and I've pinched it so it's nice on the side. And now I actually want to add a text. So we're going to say, happy holidays. Does anybody have any questions yet? And tapping that text to transform. I'm gonna move it on the side. I like that. It looks good. Happy holidays with an apple. It's quite cute. And when you're ready with what you've created, hit submit and you'll get a number. So we are now number 3. So normally in the flow, your customers can come up to you and say, hey, I'm number 3. Can you please print me number 3? That's a really great way to match the right drink to the right person, and you'll know what they've created. So.
Hi, Emily. Hi, I have a question real quick. I'm sorry.
Hello.
Hi, sorry. I just had a question. Speaking of customers, is this being used currently in restaurants and cafes? And you know how they're using it, if so, with their customers?
Absolutely. So there's actually a customer not too far from here who created some posters with their Ripples web app QR code right on it. And they actually placed the poster in the front of the line. So they always have quite a long line at this location. And by the time they get in line, they scan the QR code, they create their image, they send it to the Ripple Maker. By the time they go to pay for their coffee, they're showing their number, and the coffee is right then getting made and printed. They know exactly which one goes to which person. So it's a perfect flow. And the customer is actually doing very, very well with this method. So thank you very much for your question.
No, you're welcome. I appreciate the answer. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okie dokie. So we talked about the 3 different flows. And let me just check what's next on the agenda that we didn't quite cover yet. We're going to talk a little bit about how to control the content that we see on the Ripples web app. So let me just make sure we're sharing the right screen. And now you can see we're at the Ripples website, and there's a special location for you guys, our customers. You can log in, just click that customer's login, and it'll bring you straight to the Ripples cloud. All right, and let's go a little bit slow. I see. So tap login and let it load. How are we for blur? Is that coming in clear? All right. Let's zoom in a little bit more. You zoomed in too much. Okay. Looks like we are having a little bit of a lag issue. It'll just take a second till everything catches up with the internet. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes, you're coming in.
Absolutely, yeah.
Perfect, thank you very much. All right, so is that visible yet on your screens? Can you see the Ripples cloud? I know you're having some issues with the clarity earlier. So if you have multiple organizations, you'll have your different orgs available here on the left-hand side. So I've got a couple here. We'll start with Emily's Coffee Shop. And from here, you want to scroll down. Today we're focusing just on the Ripples mobile. And this will allow us to control all of the images that we see inside of the Ripples mobile app. So we're going to click on mobile to see what we have. Once we're in mobile, we'll have an area where we can select our location. So those of you who have more than one location, we are not working with test location today. We're actually going to be working with Emily's Coffee Shop location. So we're going to switch to that location, and that's an important step to make sure that we are uploading to the right areas. So here you can see that we have 5 channels that are being sent to us. Those are Ripples dynamic content, those ones with the little link on them. And if you'd like to see everything that's inside of the mobile app, you can always click the eyeball button in the top right hand corner. So we're going to do that. And we can now see all of the images inside that are currently available for the app. Alrighty, let's go back to mobile.
Emily, I have a quick question.
Yes, what's the question?
Yeah, the question is, you showed us the ripples before. It means that the ripples are there, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they are assigned to the channels, correct? Well, I mean that inside the channels you can see less ripples than what we saw before, correct?
Everything that you see when you're under devices is actually what's on your device at the time. So channels is actually a separate entity that we can create separate channels, and we don't actually have to apply them directly to our devices, that meaning our Ripple Maker or the mobile app. So if you go up, you can see that under designs, we have My Ripples, and My Ripples is kind of your library where you can upload en masse all of the designs you'd like to work with. And My Channels is a way that you can actually organize those images.
Yeah.
So we can actually take a channel that's been previously created and apply it to our device. But I skip straight to devices because I think it's a bit of a shortcut and the easiest way to get content onto your machines as quick as possible. So that's a really great question, Leb. Thank you for asking. We're actually going to cover the whole flow right now of how to upload and create a new channel, as well as select a previously created channel. So we have this fun channel. I'm actually just going to erase that off of my app. So now the fun channel is officially gone, but don't worry, we'll add the fun back in, that's for sure. So to start to create a new channel, pretty straightforward. You got to click that create channel button. And that's why I like working right under devices, because it puts everything right on the device right then and there. If you're working long term and you've got events coming up and maybe you just want to have a few images on for Christmas or a couple images just for the New Year's Day that's coming, or specifically Valentine's, you can schedule them well in advance. And that's kind of the beauty of working with the channels. So for this new channel, we are going to call it, let's call it art, because I have some arty images that I would like to put up there. And we have a paintbrush, which goes particularly well with art, and hit save. So after a second, you'll notice that that new channel is there, but it is actually empty. It says no ripples in it. Here to the right, we can see each channel that has ripples in it. So to add images to that empty channel, you can actually hit that pencil icon in the top right corner, and that's going to allow us to choose whether we want to add images from what we've already previously uploaded. So you can click load more, and you're going to have all the images that you loaded in the My Ripples section available from here. And because we always like to keep things fresh here, I like to upload ripples directly from my computer. So an important thing to remember when you're uploading images from your computer is that they need to be sized perfectly, 1700 by 1700 pixels if you want to upload them en masse. If you're uploading them one by one and they're not perfectly sized, we'll show you how to do that in a second. So we're going to hit that plus button, and it's actually going to pop open a window that you won't be able to see, but you'll see which images that I've uploaded in just a moment. So this just takes a quick second. An easy way to resize your images is actually to work with a tool, a free web tool called Canva that I absolutely adore. And we are going to choose this one. And Canva helps you resize them and create images from scratch. It's a really great free tool that I highly recommend you guys checking out if you're going to be creating images. So I've selected my image pack, and you can see why I called it art. We've got some very artsy pictures. Yeah. And we're going to not make them personalized because there's not a lot of space in these ones to make personalized. Well, maybe that one's pretty good. So yeah, they're all pretty big images. So personalized means that you'll be able to edit them within the Ripples app. And that's kind of a fun way to add a text on top of them. And that's what personalized means. Frame is specifically for frames. We'll get into those next. So when you're ready, click upload all, and we grabbed a bunch. So it's going to take a second or two. They will quickly upload. And now they're going to ask us for a date. So we're going to have to select dates that we would like them on. So we're going to choose today, and you'll have to pick an end date. So I'm going to pick the 31st of next month because I really like these ones. Or if you'd like them on for a really long time, you can actually adjust it by year. But we're just going to keep them on for that month and a half. When you're ready and you've chose your dates, click Assign to Channel. And those images are going to be uploaded to your mobile device. Just always make sure you're under mobile if you're trying to edit the Ripples web app. If you're trying to add them to your Ripple Maker, we'll have to talk about that another day in our next webinar. We'll do it all about the cloud, a deep dive into it, and how to control them on your Ripple Maker. But we're working just with the Ripples app today. I won't get excited and just start talking about the Ripple Maker. So as you see, our new channel is not under Emily Test location, it is under Emily's Coffee Shop. So if we go back to the correct location, you can see art is now there. So if you want to double check what's in there, you hit that pencil icon, and there they all are. So down here on the bottom, you'll notice a calendar with a red bar. That red bar tells you when they will be available. If you see the bar ending on a certain date, that's how long those images are going to last for you. You can also rearrange them if you'd like them in a specific order. You can click to drag after you've pressed this button up here. And if you're all set, it will save, and that's how you add images to the app. So let's talk a little bit about frames. Frames kind of work the same way, except that you want to have a PNG file that has a transparent center. So let's show you a little bit about frames. We are actually going to add them. We're going to create a new channel for frames because we don't have a frame channel. I like to keep my frames separate just because I know that all my frames are in one spot. It helps me stay organized and I know what is in the app. So once we've created that new channel, we can go and click on that pencil icon again and start by assigning ripples. So I've actually already uploaded some ripples to this location, and I've got some very Christmassy themed ones. So we're gonna click, and I'm actually pressing Control at the same time to hold down and grab the bunch that I would like. And once I've selected them, it'll again ask for dates. So these ones are just for Christmas. So I'm gonna select the next 2 weeks to have these frames available on the app for us. So it's a fun new way that you can actually include your branding, sneak in your hashtag or handle, and have it on each image that's sent. I really love the ones that help you adjust your face, like we saw earlier with the Santa Claus face, and the hat one is a really cute one to work with because it's kind of like a Snapchat filter over top, and it's just a little bit extra fun, and we could all use that this year, couldn't we? So I did mention about images that are not already pre-sized. So these ones were all pre-sized to 1700 by 1700 pixels, so they're not going to be warped. And let's grab an image. So here, you'll have to upload them one by one. It's a good tool if you haven't sized your images. So I'm just grabbing an image that I know is not sized properly off of, all right, here's a cool one off of my computer. And as you see, boom, right away, it's way too big. It kind of isn't filling the whole cup properly. So we're actually gonna scroll down and we can adjust the size here. So if you don't have time to pre-size all your images to that 1700 by 1700, you can adjust with the little adjuster tool. And we're going to create okie dokie. So again, with the dates, it's going to ask us. And now we've created a custom sized image that wasn't pre-sized. So that's a little bit about the cloud, and that's where I'm going to leave it for that. And we're going to flip back to the presentation. And let's see if it's going to work. All right, there we go. So the next section I would like to talk about is private web apps. This is a new feature that we've actually developed here at Ripples. And if this is something you're interested in, it's a really good way to use in your campaigns and campaign management, or if you're just really focused on your branding, you can get your logos. As you can see here, we've got two that we've made for two different companies, complete with branding colors and your specific logos available. If that's something that you're interested in, it's a really handy tool, especially to get that branding across. You can put your messaging there and encourage people to share online right through the Ripples web app. So that's a private web app, and that's available for sale. If that's something you're interested in, definitely talk to one of your sales reps. And next up, a little bit about in-store collateral. We actually have a bunch of it available online that you're going to be able to edit and change, add your logo, and if you'd like just to have the QR code, we have a bunch of QR codes that you can download and place on your pre-existing posters, or you can use one of our posters and put your logos on top of it. We've got a lot of stuff available in our help center, so please feel free to check out that link that we've sent in the chat just now. You can download all of those posters there in our printables section in the help center. So definitely work those QR codes in somewhere. It's going to make your life a lot easier. Your guests don't have to download the Ripples app anymore, and it makes the whole process much more engaging and much smoother. So I'd like to thank you all so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. I was wondering if anyone had any more questions. I'd be happy to answer them.
Yeah, I had a follow-up question to my original question regarding your customers who are currently using the web app. Have you had any feedback or frequently asked questions, of things that might come up?
Well, I think originally when you first open the app, if you're not using your GPS, like I travel everywhere and I always have my GPS open. So that's actually something you need to make sure that's open before using the app. And I've noticed that there's been a little bit of an encounter with using or having the GPS turned off and trying to use the Ripples web app, the generic one. You definitely need to have your GPS open for it to work correctly, and you definitely need to share your location. So a lot of people are used to kind of dismissing the pop-ups that come from websites, and I get it. And but the Ripples web app is totally safe, and we totally you just click share your location, and that's how we find a Ripple maker within your vicinity. So thank you for that question.
Surely, thank you.
Emily?
Yes, hello.
Emily? Yeah, hi. So I'll have another question. So the customer at the coffee shop, he or she, they don't have to be connected to the same same wireless network as the Ripple maker, correct?
Absolutely not. You can be on your 4G network, 3G network, and communicate with the Ripple Maker as long as you are connected to the internet and the Ripple Maker is connected to any internet. It can be a LAN cable or Wi-Fi network. You can communicate between the two. That's a really good question. I've actually been asked that a lot. And thanks for thinking of that one.
Thank you.
Emily, I just have a quick question.
Yes, of course.
Just on our Ripple machine at the moment, the frames that we have currently are just the ones with the at-drink ripples around it. Now, we used to have anything on them, but just recently that's appeared. So is there any way of changing that and putting our hashtag and things on it rather than the at-drink ripples?
So what it sounds like to me is that your contract may have passed its due date, and there is a way that you can actually upload through the cloud. So if you have a cloud user, you can upload your own personal hashtags and different frames as well. So it won't just be the @drink ripples frames that you see there. It'll also be yours. So that would definitely be my suggestion. If you don't have a cloud user, please reach out to us at the support. I think we should put the support link in the chat, and you can reach out to our team and they will definitely help you with making a user so you can help control that content that's on the app too. So the skills we talked about today about uploading on the cloud to the mobile and creating a frame is what you'll definitely want to do. So we'll actually follow up this conversation today with a PDF on everything that we talked about here today. So if we went a little bit too quickly, it'll all be down in writing for you. So I think we sent that link. Yeah, we definitely sent the support link there so you can reach out to our team. They're amazing and they will definitely help you with that.
Hey, Emily.
Hello, Mary.
Hey, how are you? So I haven't been able to figure it out, but did you go over, and I missed the first minute or couple minutes, are you able to stamp a location at the bottom? You know.
Are you talking about like on a frame or on?
Yeah, like on the mobile app, if you're at if I'm doing a demonstration and I want to put it at the bottom, Back Bay Farmhouse.
On the app, hold on, let me just share my cam screen so we can scan. Maybe that was one of the parts I think that you might have missed. So we've got camera and phone over here. So, all right, I'm sharing again my phone. So when I first scanned the web app, it's going to actually, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this was the screen that you were mentioning. When you first enter, it kind of put my location there. See, it says Emily's Coffee Shop. Right. She Love One bev-top Media. So that would have been my display address. And you can change your display address through the Ripples Cloud and also your display name. So those are two things that you can adjust. If you have like a business name that's showing up there, sometimes you have like a holdings company and it's not like your actual location. So you can actually edit those two bits in the Ripples Cloud as well. That's a really great question. Is that what you meant, Mary? I'm sorry.
So I guess it's like I'm one of your agents. So sometimes I take it to demonstrate at a particular, potential customer and wanted to, and I can ask this offline, to stamp it. I remember somebody telling me you could put the location name in the frame.
Okay. That's absolutely doable. So you would have to actually create your own special frame for that, and you just have to make sure it's 1700 by 1700 pixels. It's gonna have to have like a circle for the face, and around the text, behind the text, you're gonna want to put a opaque white background and have a nice dark text, or just have the text on the bottom on the, like, I would say this much of the circle on the bottom, and then you'll be able to put the location. We've done a few of those different events. Like we'll be like, hey, when we were at Host Milano, one of our frames said at Host Milano. So every image sent through the mobile app had the actual location written on it and the handle, so people knew where to mention it on Instagram. So
yeah, that's what that's what okay, that's cool. That's what I wanted to know.
Excellent. So yeah, it's just a matter of creating a frame and uploading it. So
you would have to create it on your computer and then upload it to the Ripples machine from your computer.
exactly. So you definitely want to use the Ripples Cloud. And if you have any questions about that, please definitely reach out to our support team. They are amazing. Also, the PDF that we'll follow up with is going to have a lot of information in it about how to control the web app and what's inside the web app. So it's going to be a very helpful tool to work with moving forward. So thank you, Mary.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. So if there's no more questions, I just want to give a huge thank you for this awesome turnout. You guys have made me feel so great coming and asking all these questions. Really, it's been a blast. I can't wait for the next webinar. I think we'll have to do a big deep dive into the Ripples Cloud. It'll probably run around 30 minutes as well, and we'll talk all about the Ripples Cloud and all the wondrous things that are deeply hidden inside of it. So I'd like to give you a huge thank you and a happy holidays from all of us here at the Ripples HQ. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.